You stand up, walk into the kitchen with a clear, simple mission, and the instant you cross the threshold, it's gone. Whatever you came for has evaporated. You just stand there, blank, slightly stupid, scanning the counter for a clue. You've blamed yourself for this 100 times. You've called it a bad memory, a sign of aging, a quiet warning that your brain is finally starting to slip. None of that is true. What just happened to you has a name. Scientists call it the doorway effect. And the reason it happens is so strange that once you understand it, you'll realize your memory isn't broken at all. It's pulling off something almost impossible, exactly what it was built to do. You just walked through a trapdoor in your own mind, and it dumped the cargo on purpose. Let me show you the experiment that proved it. In 2011, a psychologist named Gabriel Radvansky at the University of Notre Dame set out to catch this glitch in the act. He built a simple virtual world where people carried objects from one table to another. Sometimes they walked across a large room to a far table. Sometimes they carried the object the exact same distance, but through a doorway into a new room. Then he stopped them and tested what they remembered about the object in their hands. The result was clean and almost impossible to believe. The people who walked the same distance across one single room remembered just fine. The people who passed through a doorway forgot, dramatically more often. Same distance, same time, same object. The only difference was a door. Radvansky wondered if the virtual world was playing tricks. So he ran it again in real life. Real rooms, real tables, real objects in your hands. The doorway still did it. Walking through it made people forget what they were holding and what they meant to do with it. Then he pushed further. He had people pass through several doorways in a row, and the forgetting stacked up, worse with each threshold crossed. He even tested whether walking back into the first room would rescue the memory. And here is the eerie part. It helped a little, but not completely. The door had already done the damage. So what is actually happening the moment you step through that threshold? Here is the truth that should change how you think about your own mind. Your memory is not a single, smooth recording of your life, running like a camera from the day you were born until now. It only feels that way. In reality, your brain is constantly chopping your experience into separate episodes, little self-contained chapters, and filing each one away the moment it decides it has ended. Psychologists call the cuts between those chapters event boundaries. A researcher named Jeffrey Zaks at Washington University has spent years mapping them, and he found that your brain is hunting for these boundaries constantly, in the background, whether you notice or not. A conversation ending, a task finishing, a scene changing in a movie. Each one fires the same quiet signal. This chapter is over. Wrap it up. Get ready for what comes next. What is genuinely wild is that Zaks found your brain doesn't just notice these boundaries after they happen. It is quietly predicting them, all the time. In every passing moment, a part of your mind is running a tiny forecast of what comes next. As long as that prediction holds, the chapter stays open, and your memory flows smoothly. But the instant reality breaks the forecast, a door, a new face, a sudden change in the scene, the prediction fails, and your brain slams the chapter shut and opens a fresh one. The forgetting isn't a bug in the system. It is the seam, the stitch, between two predictions. And a doorway is one of the most powerful event boundaries there is. Think about what a doorway meant to a brain that evolved over millions of years. Crossing from one space into another almost always meant the entire situation was about to change. New room, new dangers, new resources, new rules. The smartest thing your brain could possibly do was clear the desk, flush out the details of the place you just left, which no longer matter, and free up space for whatever is in front of you now. So that is exactly what it does. The instant you cross the threshold, your brain decides the previous episode is finished. It packs away the context you were carrying, including that small, fragile little thought, go get the scissors, to make room for the new scene. And notice this, the memory was never weak. A single second before the door, you knew exactly what you wanted. The information was perfectly intact. The door didn't erase it. It simply changed the address, lifting it out of the active folder your conscious mind can reach, and dropping it into storage in one involuntary motion. That is why it so often comes flooding back the instant you walk back to where you started. The file was never deleted. You just walked away from the drawer. And here is where this gets so much bigger than doorways. Because a doorway is just the most obvious version of something that is running underneath everything you do. You don't even need a real door. Radvansky's team found that simply imagining yourself walking through a doorway can trigger the very same forgetting. And the same cut happens when you switch tabs on your computer. When a notification yanks you into a different app. When you look up from your work because someone walked by. Every single one of those is a tiny doorway. Everyone quietly closes a chapter and makes the one before it harder to reach. You felt the bigger version of this, too. You walk from the living room to the bedroom to tell someone something, and arrive with nothing in your hands and nothing in your head. You open your phone to do one specific thing, get pulled into a feed, and resurface minutes later with no memory of the mission that opened the phone in the first place. Each of those is a boundary your brain treated as the end of an episode. The more thresholds you place between the thought and the action, physical or digital, the more certain you are to lose it on the way. This is why a day can feel completely full and yet strangely blank when you try to remember it later. You spent it crossing hundreds of invisible thresholds, and your brain faithfully filed each one away the instant you left it behind. So can you beat it? A little. The trick is to refuse to let your brain close the chapter. Say the thing out loud as you move. Scissors, scissors, scissors. And you keep it alive instead of letting it get packed away. Or hold one vivid, almost ridiculous mental image of the object, so loud your brain can't quietly file it. There is a deeper version of the fix, too. Whenever you can, don't split a task across a boundary. The second you think of something you need from the other room, deal with it before your mind drifts toward the next thing, because the longer a chapter has to stay open, the more doors it has to survive. Your intentions are most fragile in exactly the seconds you are moving between spaces. You are not repairing your memory. You are just jamming your foot in the door for a few more seconds. But honestly, the more useful move is to stop being angry at yourself when it happens at all, because it is not a failure. It is a reflex older than language, doing its job a little too well, in a house full of doors it was never designed for. And that leaves you holding a strange and quiet thought. Your life does not exist inside your head as one long, continuous film. It exists as a stack of chapters, sliced apart at thousands of invisible thresholds. Every door you walked through, every scene that changed, every time the world whispered to your brain, "This part is over now." You remember your life in fragments because you lived it in fragments. The doorways were always there, quietly cutting it into pieces. It is why the most vivid memories of your entire life tend to cluster around the big thresholds. The move to a new city, the first day of a job, the last time you saw someone you loved. Those were enormous event boundaries, and your brain marked them with incredible force in bright ink. The long blurred stretches in between are simply the chapters with too few doors to remember them by. So the next time you find yourself frozen in a room, hunting for a thought that was just in your hands a second ago, do not panic, and do not call yourself broken. You didn't lose your mind. You simply walked through a door, and your brain, faithful as ever, closed the chapter behind you. And this is only one of the quiet tricks your memory plays on you, every single day, without ever asking permission. There is an even stranger one waiting. The reason you cannot remember being a baby at all, even though those were the most important years your brain will ever live through. That is the next door we walk through together. Subscribe, and I'll meet you on the other side.